Today we're happy to begin our Great Lenten lecture series. I don't know how many years we've been doing this. It's a lot, maybe 10 years, something like that. But we have a short lecture during the meal of every one of the Great Lenten Sundays. So today we're pleased to start with Subdeacon John Zroika. John is the head altar server at St. Vladimir's, and we've asked him to speak about altar service at St. Vladimir's and to give you the opportunity to also ask questions about what is happening in the altar. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to John, and we ask for your attention. John was a teacher for 43 years? 38 years. So when he started, they knew how to punish people who... No, well, we won't go there. Anyway, so let's be attentive and let's begin the lecture. John, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Father. The word in itself, I believe, comes from the Greek meaning to serve. And that's what we do. We serve Father. There are many, many moving parts to the liturgy. And he could do them all himself, but you'd be watching him running back and forth and all over the altar, getting a censer, getting hot water, and you don't want that. So that's what we are there for. We know we're going to be seen. You're going to see us when we make an entrance. You're going to see us as we come out to gather the prosper. But we don't want to be noticed. I mean, we don't want you to think about us. If you don't think about us, we've accomplished our job because we've just made the liturgy flow and you haven't sat there and noticed something and, you know, like, oh, what happened there? We don't want that. So we just want to be unseen. Well, not no notice, not unseen. Hopefully we will add to the liturgy and we will not detract from it. Now, in short, what do we do? Good heavens, this starts the night before. Somebody's going to be pulling out all the bread we have to be used to thaw out so that it is ready for the liturgy on Sunday. Sunday we come in, we start with reading the books, getting the tray set up for communion, getting the censer going, the hot water, the bread cut up. And then, of course, when the younger boys start coming in, also getting them vested. Like today. Today was a pretty good example. We do not have a large number and variation of purple vestments. So we vested quickly. We have to think, okay, who's going to be doing what? Who's going to be holding the fans for the entrances? We had those people in purple. Then after that, the younger boys, we didn't have a whole lot of purple for them, so we went to red. Two of us older subdeacons we are long past our boyish figures. There was no way we were going to fit into the purple vestments, so we went with red. All right? You would have noticed us if we would have been squeezed into the purple vestments, believe me. So once we get all that set, then we have an idea like, okay, who's going to be where out there? I mean, the last thing we want, we had 13 servers in there today. I think I've counted as many as 17, 18 once. I fear the day is going to come where we're going to run out of vestment sizes and we're going to have to go into the other colors. And we're going to come out looking like a bag of jelly beans. We're going to have so many different colors out there just to get everybody fitted as best we can. So that's the start. Then during the service, heavens, we have the entrances, getting lined up for that. And once again, we tried. Didn't Methodius take off? He's a craftsman. He's got a great eye. And he will pick out how to put things together so that you don't have tall, short, purple, blue, whatever. He puts it together so, like I say, they come out and you don't notice all the various colors that we may happen to have. Oh, let's see. Bringing Father the censer when so you don't have to see him disappear to go get that. Managing the bread supply. And I'm going to make a pitch here right now. Bread supply. If you have ever thought of baking, we need more bakers. This has totally nothing to do with what we do back there. But please, see Letta, see Svetlana, they'll be happy to teach you how to bake. Because we do so much more today than we ever have. I jokingly told Father one day we need a subdeacon who's just in charge of bread. And that's how much we have today. So all various kinds. So there's my pitch. Opening and closing curtains at the appropriate time. The lights coming off and on at a particular time. Let me see here. Challenges? Good heavens, does all this go smoothly? No, it doesn't. In the past 3 weeks, I personally, this was after the liturgy, I don't know if it counts. I came out, I handed Father his announcements. I did not notice the vase there with the water in it, with the flowers, and I kicked that over. All right, so you got now 3 people down there on the floor. Father's reading announcements. We're mopping up. I think during that liturgy, one of the servers bumped into the lampada and spilled oil on himself. If an altar server has not yet pretended to be a bishop and anoint himself with oil, he will. Every one of us will do it at one time or another. 2 weeks before that, I don't know, you notice some of our vestments, we have some very long sleeves, some very short ones. I don't know what I was reaching for. The hand father something. I did not notice the little cruet of oil. Of course, my sleeve took the cruet and spilled the wine. It's not oil, wine. And that's not the first time I've done that. So there's all these little things that happen during the service that, hopefully you don't see them, that they distract from your attending the service. Let's see here. Every once in a while, too, we will get a dud piece of charcoal. Nothing sends the altar into a panic than the deacon wants the censer, but the censer is cold. The charcoal just, like I said, a dud piece that goes out. So we are running, you might be standing out. Shouldn't they be out here? Shouldn't they be out here? Yeah, we should. But something came up. You may stand out here and hear something crash in the back. And you might sit here and wonder like, I wonder what fell, what broke. I don't worry about what fell or what broke. It can always be replaced. My first thought is, Lord, no blood. Nobody got hurt. No little kid had something fall on their head. That's my first thought. And you would think that after all this time, boy, those guys should have this down pat better than this, shouldn't they? We don't change the liturgy, but sometimes we have to make adjustments because of changes that occur, or we're asked to do something differently. Sometimes they come down from Bishop Peter. Bishop Peter does not make suggestions. Okay? When Bishop Peter decided that for the Creed and the Our Father, we would come out. Hey, no problem, we can do that. But it does cause ripple effects back there on how we do things, and it takes us a while to work it out. We don't have as much time to work on what we were doing. We got to change that. Another little thing that you may not have noticed, Bishop Peter's last visit here, he sort of asked us like, you guys always taught, at least a quick poll, most of us, altar service, had always been taught, well, you're going to stand with the fan towards whichever way the person is reading. You know, if it's a deacon reading towards the altar, you're standing there. If it's a priest reading out here, there. No, we're to take a neutral position now. You stand not to a little bit to the left, not a little bit to the left. A minor change. But like I say, Bishop Peter does not suggest. So we will adapt to that. Lining up. Oh. The other thing is we have to make adjustments. Priests, deacons, they all do things a little bit different. You can't count on doing it the same. With some deacons, I've been given very specific instructions about how many pieces of incense to put on the charcoal. 3, that's it. I have others who want to look like a steam locomotive going to the church. Smoke everywhere. Father Nicholas is somewhere in between. Not a locomotive, but he certainly does, you know, we're not to scrimp on the incense floor. Matter of fact, there's an old joke some of you have probably heard it. The server who hands the priest the censer, he censes the church, comes back, Father, was that enough incense? Father looks around and says, no, I can still see the altar. So those are the kind of things that we have to adapt to, change. And of course, you got to enjoy dealing with the young. I mean, someday they're going to take your place. We couldn't do it if they did not grow into the job. But it's a challenge. I don't think I have to tell you that the retention spans are short. It's a long service. Sometimes we will be standing there and all of a sudden, it hasn't happened in a while. I hope I'm not, by saying this, it happens next week. But we'll be standing there and all of a sudden we'll go, what's that? Somebody has singed their hair. And that's because they're standing there with their candles and we have set more than one home and had to explain to a mother why your son's hair is now. Or even worse, when they're not paying attention and they're sort of let the candle go and they singe the back of somebody else's hair. I don't know which one's a tougher one to explain. And then, of course, there are those times during the service where even we are to stand there, thought in prayer, during the creed. It never fails. It didn't happen this week, but it never fails. You're standing there, and finally, for a moment, I can stop thinking about what's next, stop anticipating. There's that tug. Yes, I need to go to the bathroom. So, once again, usher them out. Okay, and hopefully they don't slam the door on the way out. They don't pound on it when they want to come back in. That all of you hear that. And one other thing about the young guys. For some reason they are fascinated. And I realize it's a long service, okay, sometimes they get a little bit tired. They are fascinated with wax. Peeling it off the candles, rolling it. Parents, if you're ever stuck on a present or a gift for your kids, buy them a lot of wax. It will entertain them for hours. I'm standing there one time very quietly, and all of a sudden I hear a big thud on the floor. I look down and there's this little kid with a big grin on his face. He's got a wax ball the size of a golf ball. He had accumulated over the weeks. I just reached out and handed me the wax ball. Now, Roman had here rewards. I'll tell you, there's
expanded church since
No,
Oh.
this church on this property.
since '89, so it's almost 30 years.
Okay, 30 years. You know, there's one thing I've never done at St. Vladimir's in those 30 years. The last time I did it was at St. Francis in the basement chapel. I have never come here yet during a liturgy and stood out here among the congregation. I've never been on this side of the altar. I know the day is coming. You know, the legs and the knees will give out. So.
You said that's when Bobo came.
That, well, I thought so too, but I'm holding on. Yeah, so, you know, I know that day is, hopefully it comes before I'm here for a service and I'm the person laying there in the middle, okay? I mean, I hope it comes before that day. But I thought about that when I was preparing this. I'm going, well, the last time I actually observed a liturgy here at St. Vladimir was in the basement chapel of St. Francis.
I think the hint is understood.
No,
And
there's
it is,
no
the
hint.
parish unanimously declines.
Hey, I was really happy to show you how far we've come. We not only have servers, a choir, we've got a kiosk. Today I was so impressed we now have valet parking. One other church around here has valet parking. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. There's probably a lot more, but question, something I missed, something that's been a burning question that you've had.
How do they, is that just because it's altar, the holy place, the kids, even, pretty much crazy ones like my son, still kind of stand there and, what's happened?
How do you do it?
They come in and they're very eager to do things. And part of the trick is to keep them busy. I mean, as long as they are busy, they don't have time to stop and, think, but liturgy is not busy work. It's at times we are very, very busy lining up and all that, but other times it's standing there and being in prayer, listening to the liturgy. And that's the part that is hard for them at the moment, I think. I think that's the toughest part. That's when their minds begin to wander, when they're not, sometimes they want to do things that they're not yet capable of doing. Dealing with the censer. They aren't tall enough. I told our two older servers today that when some of these younger kids want to go out and help them burn papers, that's always a big thrill, burning papers, that if the kid's head is not above the barrel, they're not to be out there. I mean, you want to talk about selective hearing? I had one young man one week, can I burn the papers? Can I burn the papers? And I looked at him and I said, you may go out and burn the papers with adult supervision. And I go back there and I look out and he's burning the papers. No adult supervision. He heard the first part. You may burn the papers. Stop there. And he was short enough that I don't know how he started it, but literally he can't see it, and everybody's sort of just throwing stuff over the top into it. I'm going, no. But, like I say, it's a long service, and there's some parts they just don't have right yet. Huh? Oh, you are welcome.
Not for the lecture,
Oh, it's my pleasure. All right, thank you.
Thank you, John. So while we have your attention, Sister Irina wants to say a few words, or I asked her to actually say a few words. По-английски, по-русски? I think English is easier. Everyone speaks English, but not everyone speaks Russian. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the monastery and what you are doing here. If you prefer Russian, we can have someone translate.
I'm brother Paul. We came from St. Elizabeth's Convent, which is located in Belarus. It's in Minsk. And we are traveling and collecting donation for our ministry. Our sisters patronize the Central Hospital and care of children with special needs. And also we have workshops where we're making religious items and souvenirs. And our sisters, together with people who needs our help or who wants to help our ministry, we are praying and making these items and selling and collecting donations to continue our ministry to care about these children with special needs. And also our convent, we have about 130 nuns, so it's a huge number for doing lots of ministries. Like one of it, and the main, it's a Central Hospital, and another one is helping people with drug and alcohol addiction in the past, and ex-prisoners, men and women. So we're trying to do what we can do, like all kinds of Orthodox. If someone's coming to church and asking help, we can't say no, it's impossible. We're trying to do everything what we can. And all of our workshops, it's just ideas, some of them, people who came to our convent and asked to help, showed us how to make some kind of souvenirs, items. And other ideas was from our sisters, from our spiritual father. We have economic studio, we have a saving workshop, and ceramic shop. Everything what we're doing is just for people and for God to continue our Christian lives and to be ready to meet with God and say that's all what I did, and just to answer for what you did for your life. So thank you so much that you invited us, and that was a great chance to pray with you today and yesterday. Thank you so much for receiving your brothers and sisters.
Come anytime.
Thank you for coming. Does anyone have any questions for Sister Irina?
Yeah, sure.
The work that they've done, I will say, with addicts is really amazing. They have a couple of videos, and I think you have copies of the videos here. The work is really wonderful, and when I was in Siberia a few years ago, the diocese there is doing very similar work to the work that they started first in Minsk, working with addicts, and is following basically their work. In Minsk, I don't know if it's mostly alcohol. In Siberia, it's mostly opiates, mostly heroin. But they've had some success following the same basic process that they use in the St. Elizabeth convent. So we're very happy that you're here with us. Thank you.